team is starting to percolate a little bit. What do you see from Purdue right now, Coach?
Well, they're a talented offense. Schematically, they do a really good job. They challenge in a lot of different ways, and they have some really good skill players that you have to account for. So it's a challenge.
How big a blow is the decision today?
Well, he's a great player. You know, I think it's tough for everybody, including Nick. That's kind of life in sports. You have to go and move on and play with who you have.
How are you doing on Nick right now? What's his status?
Not sure. Not sure what his status is going to be. He's kind of up in the air.
And given the way that they can throw the ball, how big a loss would that be if he's not available?
Big, yeah. We're getting thinned out a little bit back there, and we weren't, overly experienced to start with. So, and they are going to throw the ball, that's for sure. Yeah, that thing's going to go in the air.
Greg, were you involved in those discussions with Nick Bosa and his family at all?
No, I was not.
Were you surprised? Were you thrown off at all to have this news today, or what's it do to a coach?
No, there's decisions that are made. Everyone has to make decisions that are the best decision for them. And I don't think that it's anything new. We've seen it happen in the last few years, and it won't be the last time you see it happen. But Nick's I love him. I loved coaching him. Fantastic player, one of the best I've ever coached, and he's gonna heal up. And he's gonna be a great player at the next level.
You've been in the NFL. What's kind of your advice to him now as he does make that next step?
Well, he probably doesn't need he's got a brother who does that for a living, so I'm sure he'll get plenty of advice, and a dad that did it for a living. So, but I think Nick will be a prepared guy when he gets there.
Greg, even if he had gotten cleared, let's say in November, stuff like his dad said today, it was still a 10 to 12 week window from surgery to maybe getting back into playing shape, which meant he probably wouldn't have been available until, December games, playoffs or bowl and stuff. How do you think you guys have adjusted to him not being here?
Well, like I said earlier, in sports, you don't have a choice, right? You play with who you have, and that's everybody has situations. Every once in a while, you get one of those magical years where everybody stays healthy the whole time, but especially in our sport, it's not very common. So, the common phrase, I guess, is next man up, and everybody's probably overused, but it's a reality in sports. The game's coming on Saturday night at 7:30, whether we're healthy, not healthy, ready, not ready. It doesn't wait for anyone.
And the D-line is strong enough, depth-wise, to deal with it, right? I mean, you've had to.
Well, you have to. But you lose a player of Nick's ability. There's not anyone else like him. So, but that's the nature of athletics, competitive athletics.
You guys have played some good offenses so far this year. What do you see with Purdue, what they're doing?
Well, they challenge you in many ways. They schematically, they use a ton of different personnel groups. And then schematically, they also do a lot of formations. They do a lot of trick plays. They make you dot every I and cross every T. That's the kind of outfit they are. So we're going to have to be at our very best Saturday night.
How is your eye dotting?
What stands out about him, the little number 4, Rondale Moore?
Very good player, very quick, incredible change of direction athlete. Has been very productive for them as a leading receiver. Productive and running the ball as well.
How's your eye dotting and T crossing as a defense so far this year?
You'd like it to be better, but I understand with some of the guys that have not played a lot that you wish that you could give them experience in a pill. It doesn't work that way, and the reason that you get experience is you play through it. The thing that we as coaches have to do is make sure that we don't make the same mistakes twice, and we've done that a couple times. As long as they're making different mistakes, eventually you run out of the big ones.
Greg, what's the challenge of defending those RPOs and the press man that you guys play? A couple guys mentioned that after the game. There's a different challenge to that, maybe.
Well, if you cover them, it's not a challenge. That's what that's one way you take away the RPO part of it. It's a run pass option. So if they choose to throw it and you're covering them, then they don't have that option anymore. That's what makes it hard, though. I mean, the press part of it, press coverage in itself is quite a challenge.
What kind of vibe did you get from your guys now on that side of the ball now that Nick's made this call?
You know, I'm not sure.
It wasn't.
I'm not sure that was kind of, you know, they're on a journey, they're on a mission, and they're focused on what they have to do. I think I'm sure that you know, when they visit with him or they talk to him or talk to him via text, that it's an emotional thing, but they all came out and practiced hard.
There was no memorial here today. Yeah.
Greg, how do you think your linebackers, especially in that RPO game, are they ever getting sort of caught in between sometimes, or not sure what they're supposed to do or how they can make a play?
No, they're not perfect, but they've been pretty good. You know, we've committed to stopping the run with them when the run part of it, and if that's what their job is, they've been very dedicated. They've gone in there and done their job, and that to me is the key. If everybody can do their job, you know, the thing that gets frustrating is we have, you know, guys that know it and they're there, and then something will distract them a little bit sometimes. We can't be distracted. We can't make impulse moves and go bite at something. You have to do just 11 guys doing their job is what great defense is made of, and when you get that, it's fun to watch.
It looked like they were hitting you on some of the same slant patterns a few times in a row. How hard, as a defensive coach or coach in general, to make in-game adjustments? Because it seems like there's a lot of process there of understanding new things you have to do. And I mean, how difficult is it to get to not only knowing what the change needs to be, but getting it across what needs to be done in any situation?
We've done it for a while, and we work with people who've done it for a while. You know, it's what we do. We make adjustments. Just because you make an adjustment doesn't mean it gets done either. So we have to get it coached during the week better. And it's not always an in-game adjustment. Like this call X takes away this, but is a little more vulnerable on this. And then call Y takes away the thing that you're vulnerable on, but it's, you know, the other thing's a little more accessible. And what you do is you try to bounce around and call the call that's takes away the problem. You have to. There's a lot of points to it. You have to call at the right time. Then when you call it, you have to execute it. And then if you're executing, you're there. Then the last part is you have to make the play. So there's a lot of parts that go into it, and we've been sometimes getting one part of it right, not getting the other part, and then sometimes getting the other part right. So it's been hit and miss. When we've done it well, we've done it really well. And when we haven't, it hasn't looked so good. So.
Greg, can I play that?